Pardon me?
I'm going to introduce us.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Auja Smith. I'm the founder of the Edmonton Natural Hair Show and the Mary Times Natural Hair and Beauty Show. This is our 2021 virtual natural hair show. This session, this live stream is the second session of today's, and today's is the final last day of the 2-day event. Before we dive in, I'd like to give a big thank you to the Alberta Public Interest Research Group for sponsoring the event this year and making it happen so that you folks can get some knowledge on natural hair. How this session is going to work is that I'm going to just be in the background, monitoring the conversation and comments if anything is happening in there, and I might pop up back on the screen if we are having any tech issues to troubleshoot that. Other than that, I'm going to just hand over the presentation to Elaine to take you through our topic and go from there. Yeah, now let's dive in.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Auja. It's so wonderful to be here. Each year, I truly enjoy the Edmonton Natural Hair Show and just what it promotes. And so today, I'm happy to be one of the speakers again, and just to bring to speak on the topic of how to own and embrace your natural hair and simplify your hair care routine. And so as we go through, I'm just going to be talking about this, and feel free to drop any questions in the chat. Auja will be able to share them with me as we go on. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's do this. So who am I? So my name is Elaine Thompson, and I am the owner of Auja Naturals. I'm very passionate about empowering women and men to bring simplicity to their curly hair experience. My approach is a science-based approach to hair care and cosmetics, and I've gone to cosmetic formulation school to pursue my knowledge as I develop products, and also courses to bring that education to this space. I think it's super important, for us to change our hair story. There's a lot of narrative that we all grew up with as per people of curl, whether we're kinky or we're curly or we're kinky curly. And so I think it's so important for us to have this conversation. So let's dive in. So the objectives for my presentation is to talk about embracing your natural hair care as a process to owning yourself and embracing your curls and your authenticity. Your hair is beautiful, and so are you. The second objective that we'll cover is to build a process that allows you to simplify your hair routine from the bedroom to the boardroom to the beach. So I just wanted to introduce you to three persons who are curl specialists in our curly hair space that I've taken courses with over the years. And the wonderful Elise, who is from Black Curl Magic. There's also Scott, who is from Curly Hair Artistry. And then we have our own Krista from Canada, and she's out of Kingston, and she runs a beautiful hair care course. And I'm so excited that she has done her course in Canada, because most of the education that's available in this space for persons who are looking to be educators are mostly done by persons in the US. So Krista is just like holding out that Canadian fort for us. So I'm truly grateful for these three individuals, to be a part of my experience and a part of my growth and my learning as I try to understand, the science of curly hair. So I just want to give a huge shout out to them for the courses that they've done and for how much they've moved the conversation along in terms of the curly hair revolution. These are also three other curl specialists that have been very instrumental in helping me as I developed my hair care course in 2019. We have the beautiful Vicky at the top, and she's out of Arizona. Vicky has actually cut my hair, and she is an educator of what's called Head Shape Matters. And so it's a type of haircut that you do. And then on our right, you'll see the beautiful Sharita. She's out of Boston, and she runs the Loft Salon. And Sharita, I've just like watched her journey and her experience as she's bloomed and grown. And as you can see, she has some beautiful, highlights in her hair, which is super popping. And I love color. And when we speak about color, could we like forget Joe Brands, who has that lovely, multicolor hairstyle that we see on the bottom. And Joe came into my life because I'm all about color. When my hair was permed, she, I always wear color, copper sunset, different types of things. And so as I moved into having my natural curly hair, I really wanted to have a curl specialist friend who understood how to color hair. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to these persons. So I'll share with you my beginning story. And so my story started off on May 5th, 2012. And the first picture you would see was me with my permed hair. And then I did transition for a 1-year period. My friend Ayanda, she was the one who came and challenged me back in 2011 to say, Elaine, you can have straight hair without perming. And I'm like, girl, you do not understand this hair. Like my hair, every 6 weeks, I outgrow my perm. And so I couldn't even imagine what my hair would look like if it was natural and trying to wear it straight. Because growing up in Jamaica, we were told that being professional and working in the corporate environment, you needed to have straight hair. Like the more straight it is, the more professional you show up. And so growing up with these narratives, like that's where my mindset was at in 2011. Was like, I need to make sure that my hair is straight because I work in corporate. And so come May 5th, 2012, I went into the bathroom, I took a scissors and I cut my hair. I did my big chop. And once I did that, I realized that there was just so much emotions and shame that bubbled up to the surface for me. And I was like, what is this about? And so I took that opportunity to dive in to my experience on why I had all of these narratives and shame and wanting to hide in my house for a month because, oh my gosh, my hair is short and it's natural and everything, the sky is falling, and so I had to come up with a solution. And living in Edmonton at the time in 2012, there was no hair products available. And so, I was forced to develop a product or find something to have a solution. And so that's how the birth of What Hair Loves came about and Auja Naturals, and the reason why I'm here. And, I really just wanted to point that out that, in every crisis or in every bad situation, there is room for opportunity. And when we talk about embracing, curl confidence and just embracing our identity and who we are, for me, going through this journey of owning my hair, owning myself, owning my hair story, and just showing up authentically each day at work as a curly hair person, and to truly step in and say, I am natural and my hair is beautiful and I'm professional and I can travel and do whatever I want. And I have that freedom with my hair now, which I'm going to take you through as we go through. And so, I just wanted to show you like what my experience was. So the picture at the bottom where my hair is when my hair is like flat iron and curled was the first haircut I got. So 2 years later in 2014, I went and got my haircut by my beautiful Zimbabwean friend. And she did this for me. She was a cosmetologist. And so she was here in Edmonton, but then she subsequently moved to Calgary. And so I was really not happy with that because I'm like, you're the only person I trust with my hair, but when I saw my hair grow to that length, and if you compare, my permed hair to my non-permed hair, you saw where my hair experience absolutely transformed. And the picture with me in my green top was me into January 6, 2016. And that's when I grew to like own my voice and be like, yes, I am going to actually launch a business with this, because over these 4 years, a lot of persons kept coming up to me as I traveled in the mall or on the bus or, just around Edmonton and Calgary, to just be like, what did you do, to make your hair grow? And that the fact that we live in Edmonton is like the Arctic. And so after 4 years of persons asking me, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do this. And so I also had to go through this period, this transition of being confident in bringing my skills and my talents to the table. And so I just wanted to share that with you, because I think it's very important as we started on our hair journey, and to discover and uncover our hair story. It's so important for us to understand that all these emotions are going to pop up, but that is all a part about embracing our authenticity and just showing up as who we are. So one of the things I did was to set out my hair goals. And so there was 3 hair goals I had, was to wear my natural hair all year round, grow my natural hair to waist length, because hey, if you're going to do something, you might as well go all the way. And then my next one was to do my hair in 15 minutes in the mornings to go to work. For me, time is premium. Time is one of the things that I value a lot. It's very sacred to me, and I guard how I give out my time. And so when it came to my hair, that also had to fall in my core beliefs and my value system, where I had to have a process. And so this is me starting out on that first day, May 5th, 2012, and I'm setting these hair goals, and I have no idea how I'm going to accomplish this, but if there's a will, there is a way. And so I just wanted to, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I want you to just right now, just write down your hair goals. And when you're setting these goals, please do not use the performance of your hair based on what we grew up with. These occlusives, the Blue Magic, the Vaseline, these were what I know I grew up with in Jamaica. And when you grow up with stuff and you have this experience, you're like, well, I've had my hair for 22 years. I've had my hair for 15 years. I've had my hair for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, or however long you've had your hair. I just want to let you know that is not your hair story, because the type of products you use brings a different story to the conversation. And that's why I love that we're doing this program. And, I want you to know that you have the power to truly know what and how your hair is. And if you want to take this journey to unlock your curls, I did. When I go to Jamaica now, my parents look at me and be like, are you turning Indian? I'm like, please, mom, like, what is this about? Because even for my parents, how my hair is performing now, it is not how they knew me. And I've lived in Canada for 14 years. And so just being able to, even for your parents to recognize that they don't even know what my hair was when my mom was growing up, doing my hair, that just goes to show you that, we can all have a different experience with our hair if we dive in. Oh, don't do that. Okay, so here is how my journey goes along. So I did my haircut, my big chop in May 5th, 2012. Then, I moved into doing all the Bantu knots and doing the twist outs and the braid outs and everything like that. That was what I did in the initial stage. And then I also, a part of our conversation is, and while I was doing, I would say, like, while I was doing, all those twist out, braid outs, Bantu knots, doing my hair in the night, pre-prepping, doing braids, wrapping my hair up, sleeping and everything on satin pillows, bonnets, like I've been there, I've done all of that, and as I dived into also like a lot of the content that was there. Mahogany Curls was one of the persons I followed along closely with at the time. And I just want to give a huge shout out to just everyone who had taken the time, back in the day, 2011, 2010, 2012, 2013, right up to now, to lay that foundation for us. Because what these ladies did, at that time was give me access to information that was not something that came from my family lineage. It was these ladies that show up and share their stories so that I could learn. And one of the things too was when I was learning, there was a lot of narratives that were coming out of our natural hair community that didn't really work for me. And I was okay with that. I'm like, it worked for them, but it didn't work for me. And, in terms of it was like a 1 hour wash day and all day wash day and all of these things. And I'm like, I am about premium time. And so I really wanted to find a way to interject who I am into this story, because I had promised myself I would never wear braids, I would never wear wigs, I would never wear extensions for my entire journey. And it's 9 years in and I still haven't. And I'm so happy I haven't, because I'm learning to style my hair how I want it, and I think that's very important for us to recognize that whatever narratives or beliefs that we currently have, when it comes to our hair, we cannot find products. My hair is hard to manage. It's not professional. It's too much work. My hair is not beautiful. I cannot style my regular hair and, wear it to weddings or award ceremonies, etc. Like once you put these narratives or beliefs in front of you, it stops you from discovering and unlocking your potential, your hair potential. And so because I challenged mine, and my hair has left me in the dust in terms of my belief system of what it could do, I did nothing in terms of making these curls. And I just wanted to show you my hair. Literally, I got up this morning, shampoo, conditioner, and I put in a styler, and that's it. I just let it drip dry, and this is how it sets on its own. So I just put some pictures here so that you can see just how much I stepped into my curl confidence. I wear my hair in multifaceted ways, in different things. And I've done flat iron, I've done rod setting for that picture at the bottom where it had the pink bonnet. My hair isn't flat ironed at all. I literally just brush it back, use that thing to tie it down, and then I rod set my hair. The picture that's right beside the green one where my hair looks super curly, that was Bantu knots, and I did them small, and then I clump a couple of them together, and after the Bantu knot set, I took out that hair style and then 2 knots so that I could change up my hairstyle every day. So every day I always look fresh, and I really like that because I like style and fashion. So 2 years and 4 years, I wanted to just show you how my hair goals milestone. If you look onto the left, you'll see my permed hair. That's how my permed hair was. Yet the moment I switched over to embracing my curls and just letting my hair grow authentically and tell its own story, it started to show me that it could grow and meet my waist length hair. And in here, I just reached bra strap length, and I did a flat iron because when I'm in Edmonton at the time, I couldn't get anyone to cut my hair curly, so to get it cut, I had to allow them to flat iron my hair to cut it, and as my journey progressed, I actually learned that there was other options, which I'll share as I go along. So in 2016, I launched Auja Naturals from a science-based perspective. Initially, when I created my hair product, my cousin who works in pharmaceutical manufacturing, she helped me to formulate. And the moment I yielded to everyone asking me to you need to sell your hair product, you need to sell your hair product, I decided that I really had to stick to my values. And so I built a team together, and another person.
Hi, Elaine. Sorry, I'm going to interject. Sorry. Yeah. Can you make your screen a little bigger? Tanya is saying that it's hard for her to see your screen.
Oh, this is the biggest. It's full screen.
It's full screen already?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way you can Send me the slides later. We'll talk offline and I can find a
Yeah.
way to add the slides to the presentation afterwards. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Interrupt.
Awesome. Thank you. No worries. And thanks, Tanya, for that question and for letting us know. Yeah. So in 2016, I launched Auja Naturals from a science-based, approach. And so I also brought in a biochemist who actually works in manufacturing just to help me with formulation and so that I can live to my values. So in 2018, I actually flew to Atlanta to meet Elise, and she's from Black Curl Magic. And Elise taught me an amazing thing that I could actually simplify my hair care routine beyond just doing my hair 15 minutes in the morning, which is something that I did from the get-go. Like my hair was like, I'll style my hair in the night. So I'll do my bantu, my twist outs, my everything. I set my hair. When I was going to bed, I slept with a satin bonnet, satin pillowcase, all of that jazz. And so in the mornings when I was getting up to get dressed to go to work, I would just always be able to just create my hairstyle in that 15 minutes. So that was something that I've done from the beginning. But when I flew to Atlanta in May 2018 to meet Elise, because I really wanted to get a curl cut from a curl specialist, and she taught me to live my life beyond twist out, braid out, and 2-strand twists. And so we're just going to get into our presentation now in terms of what is that strategy and process, building out your regime, having your daily routine, and just really living your life where your hair matches your lifestyle. And so a beautiful quote that comes from Audrey Davis Savotti is that low moisture hair care regimes are the most common source of breakage in Black hair care. Hair that is not treated regular with moisturizing deep conditioning treatments and hair that is cleansed less than once weekly with moisturizing products is a prime candidate for moisture deficiency breakage. And, I just really want us to remember this. If you think about our hair, because of we have a curl pattern, our hair tends to be more drier. And so that the more hydration and moisturization that we can bring to our hair experience without taking it to the extreme where we're, damaging our cuticle and causing that hair chipping or, then it's the better for you. So let's move on. How to simplify your hair care routine. So when we know what we're working with, we can apply the right tools to have a great curl day. Another thing that I have is that we can cleanse, condition, and style. So those are the 3 steps that we'll be going through in terms of building out your regime. It's to cleanse, condition, and style our hair by working with the cuticle and the elements that comprise the 3 side bonds in the cortex to give hair strength, elasticity, hydration, and moisturization. So let's take a look at what we're working with. If you, take one strand of your hair and look at it, that's kind of what we're going to be examining. And so one strand of your hair comprises of the cuticle, the cortex, and for some individuals, they also have a medulla. Not everyone's hair type has a medulla. So for the remaining of the presentation, we'll only be looking at the cuticle and the cortex. So when I come to my hair care, the first question I ask myself is, what type of dirt am I dealing with? Because to build any hairstyle, because I think the reason why we're looking at hair care is that we want to create hairstyles that matches who we are, what we're about, and how we want to show up, in the world. And so I always look at what type of dirt am I dealing with? Because my motto is clean scalp, clean hair. That's what you start off with: clean scalp, clean hair. And to have clean scalp and clean hair, then you have to be able to have that proper cleansing tool to work with. And so in the diagram, there's 4 types of hair dirt. There's sebum, there's keratin, there's pollution, and then there's product. And when it comes to the sebum and the keratin, you want to use a cleansing shampoo for that. And when you you're talking about pollution. Pollution actually goes into the cortex of the hair and bonds with your ionic bonds or salt bonds, or, and the different bonds in your hair. I'll show you a picture of that later on. So knowing that if you are in a city that has smog, pollution is going to be a dirt that you need to tackle. And a chelating shampoo is going to help you with that. And when it comes to product buildup, when we use lots of oils and butters and stuff, we can plasticize our hair where literally we're putting a raincoat on or hair if we don't cleanse it often. And if you put a raincoat on your hair and then you're trying to add products on top of that, then nothing is going to go in and you're going to have dryness and breakage. And you're like, but I'm putting lots of products, I'm using it, but it's not working. If you're having that challenge, then definitely look at, am I tackling the dirt properly? So let's go on. So the first step in building your hair care regime is to cleanse. And before you cleanse your hair, as I said, ask yourself, what style am I hoping to achieve? And the reason why I ask myself that is that I know for me, as I grew to know my hair better, I knew that when I wash my hair with a clarifying shampoo, it is going to be flat. There's no volume. It's not bouncy. So if I'm looking to have like a bigger hairstyle, then I know I can't wash my hair for that day, but I can wash my hair the next day or the evening and stuff. So because I know if I want a huge voluminous hair style for an event or whatever, I'm just like, yeah, your hair is going to need to have lots of products to create that volume and the bounce and stuff like that. And so always look at your hair. And if you color your hair, I know I want to jump into color pretty soon. And so if you color your hair, you also want to look at, if you've just recently colored your hair, you're going to want to bump up that moisture and that protein and stuff. So as you work with, what are you working with? That first question, like, what are you working with? You're working with your hair and you're looking at your hair at its granular level. Is it colored? Is it, low porosity? Is it, just different things, which I'll get into a little bit more in our next slide. But I just want you to understand that when you're coming to it, you're like, what is the tool I'm working with? What is the result I'm hoping to have? And that's how, I've approached, and it's really helped me to change my hairstyle on a daily basis. Another thing is, what is the water quality, hard or soft in my area? Because that's going to determine like the shampoo that I use to wash. Because if I'm battling hard water, then I'm going to need to do maybe a detox as well, because that mineral is going to act like pollution, and it's going to go inside and it's going to block the products that you're putting on and how they perform, in giving you that hairstyle that you're looking at. And then, number 3 question, what dirt is on or in my hair, and then once you've analyzed those things, the water quality, the climate, and the dirt that you have, then you're going to pick your shampoo from your arsenal. And then, also, like, as you're using the chelating or the clarifying shampoo or the cleansing shampoo, there's different harshness to them. And so they will extract, some will not extract. So like the clarifying shampoo will extract a lot more nutrients from your hair, and so would the chelating shampoo. So if you're using those, you want to know that in your next step, you're going to be using a lot more moisturization, lots more protein and hydration, just to put that back in your hair. And then the last one is, what your texture, density, and porosity of your hair. So let's jump into that. So your texture, if you take one strand of your hair, you can tell whether that hair is fine, medium, or coarse. And that is really good to know, because as you're choosing products and how they perform, your texture will guide you in choosing which products to put. So I'll give an example, like the front part of my hair, my texture is very different from the side part of my hair. And at the back, the texture is like super different. And so my texture changes a lot, and it's the same for my density. I have high density here in my head, but here I have very low density in my hair. So on the sides of my head I have very low density, but I have this massive high density, and so knowing that will help me to know that when it comes to these hair, the amount of products I may put here is going to be very different in the amount of products I put in those high density zones and low density zones. So knowing that will also help you, like in making your hairstyles pop. And then we go to the porosity. So porosity is low, medium, and high. And I have a slide for that we can discuss later. So let's get into the hair science. So this is what you're working with when it comes to your hair. So we have the hair shaft on the left, the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla. And as I shared before, the medulla is not in everyone's hair. So we're really just paying attention to the cuticle and the cortex. And so when it comes to the side bonds, that's what's inside the cortex. So we're looking at the place where hydration and moisturization and our curl patterns are formed and where they all play together. And the keratin protein, which is the green ones, is what is the external structure, for the cuticle. And so when it comes to, hydration, it's our hydrogen bonds that jump into play. They're the ones that they're very water loving. When they see water, they hug it, and the disulfide bonds are the ones that give us our curl pattern. And then when it comes to moisturizers that we use and that repair section, it's our salt or ionic bonds that comes into play there. And so that's why when it comes to like stepping into after we've cleansed, now we're working with this internal building up that healthy replenishment for the hair so that it can survive against whatever climate condition that we're having. So this is where we move into our conditioning and hydrating products that we're going to be putting into our regime. So Audrey, talked about conditioner is the single most important element of your regime. Conditioners restore moisture loss to the shampooing process and improves the hair manageability. And I know yesterday, Dr. Suzanne, she really went deep into the science of this. And so I would just say refer also to her presentation as well if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of this. But I'm just going to move on and just keep it super simple for my presentation. So when it comes to that step 2, it's to condition. And to condition means to hydrate and moisturize. So there's a lot of products on the market. There's moisturizing conditioner, there's protein conditioner, there's moisture and protein conditioner, there's deep conditioner, there's leave-in conditioner, and each conditioner is formulated to perform a certain thing. And so when you're thinking of this step, you are hydrating and moisturizing your hair. You're really getting into the cortex and putting products that will penetrate into the hair and stay there to maintain that healthy balance of nourishment for the hair. Because once hair comes out of the scalp, it's dead. So you're really just maintaining it, and so to maintain it, you need to put that hydration and moisturization that will bond with these bonds and be super happy. And so, see, for example, your cuticle, your hair starts feeling limp and dead and mushy. It means that you've overhydrated. You've put in too much hydration, too much moisturization. So you may want to pull for a protein conditioner to help, to suck that excess hydration and moisturization out so that your hair can get back into balance. So learning, about these moisturizers and protein and moisture and protein and when and how to use them is super critical for just keeping that balance with your hair. So another thing I wanted to just go on. So we've gone from the cuticle where we're cleansing. We've gone into the cortex where we're putting hydration and moisturization in. And now we're coming back because we've just put a lot of moisture and hydration in, But now we need to seal it. We need to lock it in, because the atmosphere, the climate, humidity, and stuff like that will try to steal all that nourishment that we've put in our hair. And so we have to look now at our porosity, that those cuticle stressors, and what we do and what the environment and the climate does to essentially bring this damage to our hair. So for persons who have low porosity, you can see those nice, shiny, sparkling, diamond-looking stuff where the hair shaft is really tightly packed, it's smooth, and so when water comes and hits on it, it bounces off. When pollution comes and hits on it, it kind of bounces off, maybe just stick to the outside, and when the sunshine comes, it kind of comes in and it bounces off too. And so when you have low porosity, you want to, when you're doing your hair routine, you want to have stuff like a heat cap that you use to help to open those cuticle shafts, so that when you're going to that, you can push more moisture and hydration in, because on its own, the hair is just like, can't touch this, cannot come inside. And so when you have low porosity hair, like, you really want to work with it. We're not going to fight what we have. We're just going to work with what we have. So if low porosity is where you land, just be like, yep, I have a tool for that, and so the heat cap is going to be extremely excellent to help you to just like opening those hair shafts and just helping that moisturization and hydration to go in. And also in when you're looking to, like, just to remove like those pollutions as well, right? And then when it comes to high porosity hair, so high porosity hair is for persons who have now colored their hair. They do a lot of excess brushing, and so that causes mechanical damage. And so everything goes into this type of hair. There is pollution attacking it, there's a climate attacking it, and definitely the weather is attacking it. And you're brushing it, and your poor hair is just like, I need help. And so if like, there's no shame if that's how you like to take care of your hair, or to just maintain it because that's just how you are, then that you need to have different tools, to work with it. And that's the beauty. Like, whether you're in the low porosity zone or you're in the high porosity zone, there are tools, there are products and stuff that you can use to help, to manage that behavior that we have in terms of if we want to brush it a lot or whatever. I would definitely advise though, to try to reduce those mechanical damages where in terms of how we handle our hair, just be a little bit more gentle, because that will definitely help, in that porosity maintenance, so that we can get to a place where our hair is just growing more healthy and performing better. Yeah. And so now we move into the styling section. And for styling, so we've covered cleansing, we've covered conditioning, and now we're moving into the styling. So styling is all about sealing in all that moisture and hydration that we've put in, that we really do not want to lose to the environment. And so stylers come in gels, creams, and foam. And so when you're thinking now, this is where your texture, your density, and your porosity comes into play, because sometimes you may have to layer some of these, to just lock in that and create that moisture seal in your hair, so that whatever you've put in is going to stay in. And so I know for me, I can use all three types because I fall in the middle zone. Like, I have really healthy hair now. Like, I used to have really unhealthy ends, but I've seen, like, once I switched over to water-based, like, the health of my hair is, travels down the full length and covers each zone. So when it comes to your stylers, like, and how, in terms of picking them, it's like, if you have really fine hair, foam is gonna work really well. It's a lot of companies use the same ingredients to create a gel as it does to create a foam, to create a cream. It's just a matter of how they blend it, because a person who has high density hair or just thicker hair, let's just use regular terminology, a person with thicker hair is gonna need those creams. But a person who has light, fine hair, if you put creams on it, it's gonna be flat, sticky, and it's not gonna be good. But if they went to the foam, their hair is gonna like be nice and flowing in the wind type of thing. Are just bouncy, and then for persons, gel can cover between medium and thickness. And so depending on, as you feel your hair, you check out your texture, you check out your density, you check out, your porosity. And if you want to do that porosity test, sure, go ahead and just so that when you're picking your products, these are the things. So texture, density, porosity. That's how, I pick my products, and that will help you as well in terms of when you're picking your product, and also for the styles that I have. And if I'm traveling, like I do have a little bit of a travel thing. So I'm just gonna move into my hair tools. So I traveled a lot in 2017, 2018. I think I did like 7 trips that year. And one thing for me was being able to I was from the Arctic to the tropics to the beach and stuff. And so I needed to learn how to be able to quickly, whether I was traveling for business or traveling for personal or just traveling for leisure, for me, I knew that my decision to never wear braids or weaves or wigs and being able to transition really quickly, and I believe in swimming. Listen, I am from Jamaica. When I see water, I'm give that to me. And so, I when I what would I want to say? So when I'm going to the beach, I can put coconut oil on my hair because I'm trying to fill up those cuticles, and so that the water is not seeping in and my hair, because the moment you're in different environments, all these things are going to, because your hair has a charge, right? And so anything around it, it's going to magnetize to it and stick on the cuticle, or it's going to go into the cortex. So you really want to protect your hair when you're traveling and you're swimming and you're doing all of these, fancy touristy stuff. You can put coconut oil in your hair. You can also put conditioner too, just to kind of fill in those cuticles. And so when you do that, because it's already kind of filled, it's going to attract and take up less of those pollutants and stuff like that as you're in the, if you're doing the pool though, I would suggest you wear a swim cap or something, because chlorine is another beast that you have to. But if you're swimming in the ocean, I swam in the ocean and I just use that coconut oil and conditioner to and then I just did my hair in a braid, and just went swimming. And when I was done, I just unbraid it, shampoo, conditioner, let it drip dry, and just put on my styler and just let it drip dry, because, in the islands, it's really, really quick. And I just moved on to my next event, just really seamlessly. It wasn't a huge deal. So, but I do want to share some of the hair tools that I have for myself, and I'll just go through them really quickly. So on the left, you'll see the full package, but I've separated them out. So the hot head is what we talked about, that heat cap to open up your cuticles. And even when you're doing your deep conditioning routine, this is excellent, excellent. It travels really well, and I also have that wet brush, for persons who want to use to detangle. So my philosophy was to only use my fingers to comb my hair. So not until I flew to Arizona in 2019 and met the beautiful Vicky Black, and she did that Head Shape Matters haircut for me, did I ever use a brush in my hair. And so 2019 would have been 7 years in my hair journey that no brush or anything has touched my hair. And so, but I embraced it. I'm always willing to learn from curl specialists, because they have great training too. And she was, trained by, a multifaceted level of cutting like Diva, Head Shape Matters, and other things. And so she knew how to cut kinky curly hair too. And so like I sat in her chair and I embraced the moment. And so she used this wet brush, and I'm telling you, it was magic. And so after that, I've added it to my routine. And so I'm always willing to grow and learn as I go on my hair experience too. And then I was introduced by Crystal Levette. Like she really, in her training, I learned about like diffusing and all of these hair dryers and stuff. And I also learned it from Scott too, I should say. A lot of persons in his group talked about using hair dryer, and they use a diffuser. And so I know when it comes to heat, we're all like, whoa, like no heat and whatever. But the diffuser, what it does, it takes that harsh heat that's coming from a head, like whether we're using those dryers at home or whatever, and it diffuses it. So it puts it in a wider surface area. So what it really like distribute it, so it doesn't bring that damaging effect to the hair. And so it's really good. Like you can use hair dryers and stuff, but just always remember to use what do you call it? And a diffuser. And so the Black Orchid is the one that I have on the top. And then I have that Sea Beauty. It's just it compresses. And so for the travel, it's my travel kit. So once you just pull out that diffuser, it attaches to the blue one. It folds down and it travels really light. And then when it comes to summer, for persons who golf, I have the Grace Ellie golf cap or basketball cap, or if you're really sporty and you like to do, so I'm sporty, so I have one of their baseball caps that actually has a satin lining in the middle, so my hair doesn't get snagged. I also have her winter toque as well, and it's amazing in Alberta. Like it works for this Arctic zone. And then I also have her slap that I can wear in the summer. So I do hikes, I do all of these things, very outdoorsy type of personality. And, so whether I'm on the beach or I'm in the mountains, I like to be outdoors and I like to enjoy the sun. And so I buy tools that I can wear with, I can use to protect my hair as I go around. So it's super easy to be a curly person and to just live a natural life and not be stressed out. So let's just do a recap of the fundamentals for creating your regime. So when you start out, you're going to start out with your hair. So it's your texture, the density, your porosity. You're going to want to look at that water quality and also the climate that you're in. And especially if you're traveling between climates, like you just need to buy the right products. And so this is not all comprehensive because there's climate control products. This is just laying the basics, the fundamentals, and you can always build on that. But I just wanted to give you the fundamentals in this training. And then we want to look at our products. There's clarifying shampoo, there's chelating shampoo, there's cleansing shampoo. You have your daily conditioners, and you have that deep conditioner. And when it comes to stylers, you have styling gel, foam, or cream. And how you cleanse, whatever you start off with is going to determine the results or the hairstyle that you're going to enjoy. And so cleansing is so super critical. And always remember, clean scalp, clean hair, and once you start doing that, and always remember there's 4 types of dirt that you're always attacking, and there's 3 types of shampoo to cleanse. So sebum and keratin is for cleansing shampoo, where when you have product buildup, you're going for the clarifying shampoo, and when there's pollution, which actually gets into your cortex, you want to use that chelating shampoo. So another thing to learn is that in our curly hair industry, there's water-based versus oil-based products. And so what you use determines also the results that you get. So water-based products are built and designed to really penetrate and get into that cortex and bond with those 3 side bonds, those hydrogen bonds, those disulfate bonds. and your salt or ionic bonds, and just like wrap them up in love and be like, we're gonna hang out here. And so
yeah, I just want to pop in and let you know. I try to send you the message on private chat, but I don't think you're busy.
Yeah.
Time is that we have 5 more minutes.
I know. Yeah.
Awesome.
I only have 2 more slides.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a little slider just to watch the time. So let me just jump in real quick. Yeah, so when it comes to the water-based products, yeah, so there's water-based and there's oil-based. And so for the oil-based products, I don't use those for sealing the hair, and but I definitely don't really use them a lot in that hydration, moisturizing aspect and in those cleansing aspects too, just because of once you start putting oil, oil reflects, unless it's super goodly formulated in a formulation. But when it comes to just like putting oil, if you put it too quickly in the process, then it's gonna block out what you're trying to put, unless it's one of those penetrating oils. But for the ones that sit on top of the hair, then it acts as sealant. So just when you're doing your process, for your regime, you really want to manage how you use your oil-based products. I would prefer like starting off with those great water-based products and then layering the oil-based ones closer to the end in the sealing process. And then I've just listed out some water-based products for you, just to list. OSAS will be able to upload this presentation, so you'll have the ability to look at it better. And then just some quick tips. When you're building your regime is to keep your scalp clean and your hair hydrated and moisturized daily. This means your hair needs to be washed at least once per week. Give your hair deep conditioning treatments monthly. Sleep in a satin cap and or use a satin pillowcases. Hydrate and moisturize your hair morning and at night. Eat a balanced diet and drink enough water. So our hair is actually replenished from our bloodstreams. That's where the real nutrients get into to build that hair shaft before it comes out of our scalp. So when we're thinking about our regime, our diet is super important, to think about as well. And just the bonus tip that I want to give is let your hair teach you what it needs. It will tell you if you choose to listen. Then feed it and watch your curls deliver fabulous results. And why do I say this? We just have 3 more minutes, so I'll just explain a little bit in one. It's that when I wake up in the morning, I look at my hair. I check it, I feel it, I touch it, I feel if the ends are coarse, I feel if the roots are dry, I look at my scalp, because that's going to tell me how I'm going to approach taking care of it. And so when I talk about let your hair teach you what it needs, it's about paying attention to your actual hair. If it starts getting limp, you want to change up your routine a little bit. If it starts getting dry, you want to change up your routine a little bit. And the more you learn about products and the science and what you need to put in, whether it's protein to help it to move from that limp stage, or if it's too dry, you want to add those moisture and protein in, or just moisture depending on that level of dryness. So just knowing these little tips will help you to be able to maintain that health that you're looking for. And then if you wanted to stay in contact, you can definitely connect with me on Facebook and Instagram at Auja Naturals. Thank you so much. Back to you, Osas.
Hi. Thank you for that session. I'm going to stop sharing that one. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you for that. We have 1 minute left, literally, before I have to go hop over and start the next presentation to get that information out to people as well. I do have one question. I've been really good at moderating the comments and stuff. Yeah. What's going on? But I've only noticed one question, and that question is, what is your winter routine?
So my winter routine, so my cleansing is always the same. So I use the Inner Sense line, and I can put it in. So I use their hydrating cream conditioner, and I use their hydrating cream hair bath as my cleanser and conditioner. And the only difference that I do is that I use more that cream butter base in winter as opposed to those foam and gels for my styler. So the only thing that really changes in my regime is on that styler end.
Does anybody else have any other questions before we conclude? Do you have any last tip to leave people who are? Thanks, Tanya. Oh, Tanya knows you, by the way, apparently.
Yeah, we've known each other for 28 years. We went to high school in Jamaica. So thanks so much, Tanya, for coming on. So she knows that my hair was not like this in high school.
She had commented earlier. It's like, I know her. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely. Like honestly, to my last tip was just like, it's a tagline for my business is to be authentic, express you. When you come to your hair story and and having that confidence, it's about like, what do I want? Like, how do I want to show up with my hair? Because there's so many products. Like now I'm going to be jumping into color, like hello, like, so anything you want to do with your hair, you can do with your curly hair, because now you have actually more options being natural than you have when you are permed. And I love that.
I agree. I feel that the options for when you're natural are different and more.
Yeah, more. Like I can flat iron my hair and look like I have a perm. And people, when they see me, they really think I have a perm. And then I come home and I'm like, yeah, water, back to curls. So I have that ability. And now that they have hair wax where you can just like, today you have orange and tomorrow you have blue and whatever, like, so there's just so much more diversity. And I think the more the conversation continues, within the curl community, and just being able to know that, you can find a solution for your hair care. It's out there.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody who was able to tune in. If you were not able to tune in for the live session, do not worry. You can grab it recorded on Facebook and YouTube. I do not think Instagram is saving it, but those other two spots are saving it automatically. So look out for the presentations from yesterday and the two previous one the first one from this morning, and this one will be available on our YouTube and Facebook accounts. Thank you so much, Elaine. I'll connect with you backstage.
Awesome. Thanks. And thanks for the opportunity, Osas. Take care.
Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.